Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you are in. Hopefully, you guys all had a beautiful day. Most importantly, a safe day. You guys already know what time it is. That's right. It's the Wild Wild West of Cryptoland time, baby. We're about to find out what's going on with Doge and the overall crypto markets. Now, that's what your boy talks about on this channel. If you're new to my channel, maybe you can help me out and hit that subscription bell, become a subscriber, and turn it on to all so you can be notified when I come through with developing and breaking news. Guys, all I ever ask for is if you guys can help me out, do me a solid, help me out with that YouTube algo and destroy the like buttons or destroy the dislike buttons. Either way, it's all good. I appreciate you just stopping by my channel. Remember, none of this is ever financial advice. It's just your boy sharing his thoughts and opinions, nothing more, nothing less. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's get it, baby. All right, guys, as you can see, the top 100 on coin market cap, what does we see, baby? Green, the color of dinero. Oh, we sure love the color of money. I know I do, right? Because that obviously means that my account is doing obviously a little bit more better today than what it was yesterday. All right, guys, Bitcoin is sitting at 42,598 with 25 cents. It is up 0.74% for the day. Not too bad. Grandpa's doing pretty good, right? That's why the overall crypto markets are in the green, baby. All right, enough of Grandpa. We'll get into him, some news about him a little bit later in the day, later in the video. All right, guys, Bitcoin, Dogecoin ranks number 12. We are up 5.6% for the day. We're sitting at 15 cents, guys. 24-hour low was 14 cents. 24-hour high was 16 cents, right? Halfway to 17 cents. It was actually at 0.1646. Our market cap, guys, right now is at 20.3 billion. Trading volume in the last 24 hours is at 1.65, guys. We are up 1.32.9% in our trading volume in the last 24 hours from what it was yesterday. Do the math, right? Obviously, guys, there's things happening. Things are moving. There's momentum in Doge right now. That's why the price of Doge almost hit 17 cents. All right, enough of the stats. Now let's dive into the charts, right, and see what's going on. See what's going on. All right, guys. Now, my previous video that I made the day before, yesterday, right? Obviously, you see this descending channel, right? And we started in this descending channel starting on January 2nd, right, guys? Which was right here, okay? Then we obviously started descending down in this channel, right? All the way until we hit this blue line, which is our level of support at 15 cents, right? Now, when I made my video, it was right here, right? And I said, okay, guys, in about 24 hours or so, we're going to hit this line here of resistance in this descending channel. We're either going to get rejected when we hit it, and we are going to go to the downside. We're going to turn bearish. We're going to flip the trend and make our support into resistance, right? Or we would break out of this descending channel to the upside and continue to push up. But to my surprise, what did we do, guys? As you can see right here, right, we hit the line of resistance and we got rejected. We dipped below support, making it into resistance, right? And we hit our line of support right here in our descending channel, right, which is coming in at around the 1.143 area, right? That's where it hit on this line of resistance, right? And that's pretty much where we stayed at around that level for about 24 hours or so, right? Then the bulls obviously took control again. They got momentum, right? And shot the price of Doge up, and they shot it all the way up to right here, right to the 0.1643. All right, almost coming in at 17 cents, right, guys? And we got rejected. We didn't quite touch the 20-day EMA, which is pretty much our level of resistance right now. But we were almost there, just a little shy, right? As they always say, close but no cigar, as the cliche goes, right? So obviously we worked back down to where we're at right now at the 1.53 area, right? But I called it, right, guys? I said we obviously it was going to do one of two things, right? Either go up or down, but we did go down, right? So we were bearish for about 24 hours, like I said, when we dipped below the line of support, but things are looking bullish for at least the next 24 hours or so on the daily time frame is what we're looking at, right? Things are looking bullish, right? Because we obviously we flipped the trend and made resistance into support once again, right? The bulls took control of the support, and now we are at 15 cents for support again, and we broke out of this descending channel, right? So all right here, right, is all looking bullish for us, right? So that's pretty much what I had as far as the charts go, guys, right? So key takeaway from the chart was we are looking bullish, right? Because we broke out of we flipped the trend. The bulls have flipped the trend and made resistance once again into support at 15 cents. The resistance is coming in at the 20-day here at the 21 day, 20 day EMA, which is this red line here, okay, guys? And that's at the 0.168 area, right? But I rounded off to 17 cents, okay? So that's what I had as far as the charts go. All right, now let's dive into some Doge news before we get into some overall crypto market news. Now it says 407.4 million Doge shifted between anonymous wallets. Over the past 17 hours, anonymous Doge whales have pushed almost 408 million Dogecoin between their wallets and over two dozen transactions of various sizes. The fiat equivalent of the transferred 407.8 million Doge is equivalent to 60.9 million. Now, guys, on my previous video, day before yesterday, right, there was I think it was 8 transactions that was coming up to a total of about $76 million, right? So obviously there's a lot of movement going, guys, shifting in between wallets, right? At least it's not going onto exchanges, right, to be dumped, right? So this is obviously a good thing. This is a bullish thing that we got going on top of what we're seeing on the daily time frame, right? So we got some bullish momentum going for us right now that can hopefully help the price of Doge continue to push to the upside and break resistance right at that 20-day EMA coming in at 17 cents. Now, guys, what I wanted to point out was, now to move $11.7 million only costed 99.97, only 14.28 cents, $14.28, guys. Now, had it been Ethereum and you were moving $11 million, you probably are going to look at about probably $1,000 minimum to move $11 million, right? And Bitcoin would have obviously been a little cheaper than Ethereum, but not as cheap as Doge, right? So the fees for Doge have came a long ways. So has the transaction speeds, right, guys? But all this movement, guys, on the chain makes more trading volume, right? And when there's things moving on the chain, it helps the price of Doge, right? It helps create momentum. And obviously we're seeing this momentum is helping it push to the upside, not to the downside, right? So we do got some positive catalysts going that are helping the price of Doge at the moment, right, guys? So here's my next Doge article. It says Dogecoin enters the real estate segment. Washington's Gig Harbor development will take cryptocurrency. Now, before I dive into the article, why is this important, right? It's just another company, right, guys? Because it's real estate, right? The more that we can get crypto into real estate is huge, guys. Why? Because there is trillions and trillions of dollars in the real estate market. And if crypto can take just a little chunk of that money or money that's being allocated into that real estate market and get that allocated into crypto, it would be huge, and it would help push the price of the overall crypto market cap up. In return, would pump our bags, right? And that's what we want. That's the bottom line. Now it says, as the popularity of cryptocurrency surges and finds increasing acceptance, real estate developers are more open to accepting cryptocurrencies as payments for homes they build. The latest to jump on the bandwagon is a Gig Harbor, Washington-based developer later this month. The developer will start taking cryptocurrencies, including the meme-based Dogecoin, for real estate reports. Right? So this is huge, right? I'm not going to dive into the whole article. If you want to check it out, go ahead, guys. It's coming out of CoinGrip, right? Pretty good little article. But I just wanted to point out, right, guys, that, you know what I mean? This is just another company, right? There's over 1,760 companies now that accept Doge as a form of payment, right? Doge has a lot of positive catalysts for it, guys, coming. We have the Ethereum and Doge bridge that is not mainnet yet, but it's being worked on. They're working the kinks out, so on and so forth. So therefore, once it comes into play and goes to the mainstream, you'll be able to mint NFTs on the Doge chain, right? Instead of using the Ethereum chain. That is huge, right? For the Dogecoin community. And we also have staking coming up, right? There's our Doge roadmap. There's 8 projects, right? There's staking in that. That is going to be a huge positive catalyst, in my opinion, guys, for the price of Doge, right? If you can start making some extra Doge for staking it, that is huge, right? And then we have 7 other things. I'm not going to dive into them, right? But there's one of those is a GIP wallet, I believe is what it's called. And there's you know what I mean, some other positive stuff going for it, right? I'm not going to keep jabber-jawing about all that, but there is a lot of positive catalysts for Doge in 2022 and beyond. Now, this is my last article as far as Doge goes. Now it says, billionaire Mark Cuban shuts down Dogecoin critic. This critic, guys, is a Bitcoin maximalist, right? Now it says, billionaire Mark Cuban once again bucked heads with Pennsylvania-based entrepreneur and podcaster Preston Pysh on Twitter over Dogecoin, right? And it says, after complaining about out-of-control cryptocurrency spam on Twitter, Cuban faced criticism from Pysh for pumping Dogecoin, the original meme cryptocurrency, back in May. Right now, this guy Preston was attacking Mark Cuban, right? He says, "Weren't you the one pumping Dogecoin at the beginning of May? Now we're down 80% since attached tweet, right?" And then Mark Cuban responded and said, "Now do a 1 year performance comparison. I said Doge was good for spending and better than a lottery ticket. You still think Bitcoin is an inflation against hedge? It's not and never will be. Doge slash the Bitcoin is flat last 30 days. Now, as far as Bitcoin as an inflation for hedge, I think it possibly can be, but that's another video, right, guys? I'm going to stay out of that one. Now, if you do zoom out, right, Dogecoin is still up, significantly, right? Over 2,000%, guys. You would still be in profit had you bought a year ago, right? So, he's, basically what he's saying, comparing it to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, guys, is up 60% from year to year in, right, over the year. So you would be up in Dogecoin and Bitcoin as well, just not as much as you would in Dogecoin, right? All right, guys. Now that's what I had as far as Dogecoin news goes. Now let's dive into some overall crypto news. Appreciate if you're still with me. And we're going to get into this article here first, right? This is Kathy Woods, right? She's basically giving her explanation on why she thinks Bitcoin and the overall crypto markets took a dump. Now it says, here's what driving the crypto correction, according to hedge fund veteran Kathy Woods from ARK Invest. Right now, says ARK Invest founder Kathy Woods says that the driving force behind the recent crypto market correction is connected to a trend happening in the equity markets. Now, the equity markets is the stock market, guys. Now says, she also says that a strike against technology growth and innovation is weighing on the stock market and pulling crypto assets down with it. However, Wood suspects the strike won't last long. She says the dollar going up suggests a flight to safety, and that is a downtrend force on inflation. Commodities are priced in dollars. The dollars is going up, and all other things equal, commodity price won't go down, or price would go down rather. Sorry. Now it says in the crypto markets, we're seeing a correction. They are starting to succumb to what we're seeing in the equity market, right? Which, once again, guys, is the stock market, which is the strike against technology growth and innovation. We think that's going to be short-lived. Now it says the ARK Invest CEO is known for having a contrarian view on inflation and high equity prices. Wood believes tech and innovation stocks are not in a bubble, but instead of a deep value territory. Much like the early years of ARK's research on investing in electric vehicles and Bitcoin, disruptive innovation seems to be in deep value territory. Based on the last 8 years of our research, the opportunities will scale from 10 to 12 trillion today, or roughly 10% of the global public equity market cap, to 200 plus trillion during the next 10 years. Now, this was her speaking. Now, says Wood also spoke of a possible scenario last month that could drive the price of the Bitcoin over 11x its current value. She says, we think that the move by institutions into Bitcoin could add 500,000 to Bitcoin's price if they would move into the tune of roughly 5% over time. Now, what she's talking about is 5% of their allocation. She's talking about hedge funds and institutional investors, right? When I was talking, if they were to allocate, 5% of their assets into cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, right, then it will shoot the price up to 500,000. And now that we're getting regulations possibly coming into the crypto market, that's what I was saying in my previous video, guys, was that regulation isn't a bad thing for Bitcoin. Right, guys, in the overall crypto markets, it will help the price of the overall crypto markets go up. Now, basically, what this article is saying, guys, is that we are in correlation with technology, like with the S&P 500. That's why we are correlated with it, right? There's a lot of tech stocks that are in the S&P 500. That's why we correlate with the stock market, right? Because cryptocurrencies is digital assets is considered technology. That's why we are basically, whenever tech stocks dumps, which is in the S&P 500, crypto and Bitcoin, right, tends to take a dump as well. So that's why people are saying we're correlated. And that's pretty much what she's saying in this article. That's what I got out of it and interpreted out of it, guys, is what she's saying, why we're seeing a correction, right? Because there's a correction going. And anytime inflation goes up and stuff like that in the stock market, technology is the first ones to take a hit, guys. Always. Technology is the first person to get hit, right? So that's why there was a major sell-off past week was because of the Fed's talking about cranking up the interest rates, so on and so forth, right? It spooked the stock market, right? So that's why it affected the crypto market, right, is what she was saying. Now it says key on-chain metric shows Bitcoin miners in massive Bitcoin accumulation mode. Now data shows lost and held Bitcoin hitting a one-year high, while miners open to the year accumulating massive amounts of Bitcoin. It says new data shows that Bitcoin miners are hoarding more coins than at any time in the past 5 months, which could be a fresh signal that the current prices are not for selling. In other words, guys, obviously these miners are accumulating because they know the price is going to go up, and that's why they're hodling, in my opinion, anyways. And it says analyzing its miner net position change indicator on January 11th. On-chain metrics analyst firm Glassnode revealed what popular Twitter account Bitcoin Archive described as massive accumulation by miners. Now says miners show no desire to sell. Bitcoin price may be disappointing to spot traders this year, but long-time market participants are anything but concerned, right, guys? Now it says in addition to strong hands or seasoned hodlers, miners are no exception, increasing their Bitcoin holding considerably in the first 2 weeks of 2022. Now, what does all this mean, guys? Right now, you can dive into it. It gives the percentages and the math and so on and so forth, right? If you want to check it out. Now, what this means, guys, in my opinion, is obviously miners, Bitcoin miners in particular, they think the price of Bitcoin is going to continue to go up. That's why they're not selling. Why? So they continue. When the price does go way up again and beats new all-time highs, they can make a lot more profit, right, guys? That's the bottom line, right? We're trying to make money in this game, and that's what they're obviously doing. They're holding until the price goes up more. Now, I'm going to close out with this article right here, guys. Thank you if you're still with me. Now it says 4,118 Bitcoins bought since November by Mega Whale, who holds 123,000 Bitcoins. Not $123,000, but 123,000 actual Bitcoins, right, guys? Excuse me. Now it says Now it says the last time the Mega Whale 122 bales sold Bitcoin was the 8th of November 2020. At that day, they sold. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Now it says Mega Whale buys another 4,118 Bitcoin. The Whale address, and it gives the address as per Bitcoin Finno charts, holds at the moment a total balance of 1,222,972 Bitcoins, which is an astounding $5.1 trillion, guys. Over the past few months, since November, this whale has been buying Bitcoin stashes size from 120 to almost 500 Bitcoin, right? Now, then also, it says the third largest Bitcoin whale buys 5,300 more Bitcoin in January, right? It says, as reported by US Today, week 3 of the third biggest Bitcoin holder has grabbed Bitcoins on the dip, buying more than 5,000 coins. Now, guys, and then it breaks down the total amount of what it all comes out to. Now, guys, I'm closing out with this, right? Because you have miners that are accumulating. You have whales that are accumulating and continuing to buy the dip. Why? Because they obviously know the price is going to go up. Whales would not be buying this much Bitcoin, guys, if they did not have belief that the price is going to continue to go up regardless of the dips, the ups and the downs. All right, guys, this is what your boy Hamid G had for you on this Tuesday. Hopefully it wasn't too long, too boring. Hopefully you found it informative and helpful. If you did, please consider liking and subscribe. Until tomorrow, your boy Hamid G is out. Stay safe and stay blessed. Peace out.